Hello friends, welcome back to Data Center Guru Knowledge Platform, knowing A to Z of data center. So today I am back with very important and interesting session called continuous improvement. So continuous improvement is not something new. It has been there in this world for ages, and in our ancients also, we are always taught or told that the learning process or improvement process goes till end of life. Why? Because nothing is perfect in this world. Secondly, even if you build something perfect, it may be perfect for that particular point of time. And with the time goes on, that particular thing may not be as perfect as it should be, because change is something which is constant and which is always happening, and to and that is the reason why it becomes very important to apply this cycle of continuous improvement in our all walks of life. So this is something which is applicable everywhere. So continuous process is more well defined in ITIL framework. You can be able to see the detailed process. In this session today, we are going to talk about how we are able to, or how are we applying continuous improvement in our data center. So in this session, I am going to talk about what is this continuous improvement in a nutshell, and what is this continuous improvement cycle or the process, how it is built, what are the different elements or the parameters which is required to be taken care during continuous improvement process, and how should we build a continuous process plan, and how do we sustain it on a time to time basis. So all these things we'll be talking during this session. So with this, I am moving to the next slide. What is continuous improvement? And the more appropriate word what I could find out is continuous improvement is an ongoing effort. It is not one time effort, but it is an ongoing effort to improve product, service, or in the processes. So these efforts can bring incremental improvement over a time, or it can also bring a breakthrough in one, improvement at once itself. So the improvement can be of different types. So once I do a deep dive and do a detailed discussion on elements in the data center, what we should be looking at for measuring it and improving it, then you will be able to correlate from that perspective. So moving next is, what is this continuous improvement cycle? So this is completely basic, and you might uh, seen or learned from anywhere. And the basic is, first, wherever you are, you have to talk about what is the vision, what is the objective you want to achieve as a part of continuous improvement plan. So you have to define what is the vision, what is the objective, what is the goal which you want to achieve. Once you write or state that goal or objectives, then you need to measure yourself where you are. What is the current state of those objectives, what you are trying to set. So then once you do these baseline assessments, then you are able to find the gap between what the target or the goal which you have set and where you are today. Then you want to plug in the gap to meet your goal, whatever you set in the first step. So to achieve that, you have to create a plan, actionable item, so that you execute and you achieve or plug in that gap between what objective set and the actual, the current state, what you observed during the baseline assessment. Then once you prepare the plan, then you need to execute the plan. So once you executed the plan, then again you have to measure those objectives, whatever which has been set. The way you did the baseline assessment, you need to do the assessment again to check what is the objective now, whether it is matching with your initial set objective or not. If it is matching, well and good. So improvement is done, and then you wait for the next cycle. Still, if there is some gap, you need to start the same cycle again and again. So this is how this continuous improvement cycle works, because once you set your improvement goals, what happens is, and you implement it, you achieve it. But after some time, when you assess it again, those objectives, then you find that there are some other areas or this parameter had scope of further improvement. Then you fine tune your goal or objective, and then create an action item to uh, implement, and this is how the entire cycle goes. So this is something which is a very basic, how do you develop. So these questions you have to ask for each and every objectives or items you want, or parameters what you are setting, and then you need to define the set parameter for that, and then accordingly define plan and execute, and so on and so forth. So as I said, this is a cycle. So it is not something which is one time activity. So identify, plan, execute, again review, and to see whether whatever you plan, whether the same thing has been executed. Or even because you do this review on a regular time interval, and the frequency you can set 6 monthly, quarterly, yearly, because based on what kind of job or what kind of infra you are running, similar, based on that only those frequencies are set, and you review this parameter, and that's how the entire cycle goes on a continuous basis. This is a continuous improvement cycle. Moving to the next is, what are those measurable elements which is applicable for a data center? And if you remember this particular slide, the safest, the objective of any data center, what you expect from a data center, always, any kind of data center, parameters may vary, but on the broad line, this is what you expect. In safest language, in Data Center Guru, our tagline, we call it safest way to excellence. So the full form of safest, which I explained earlier, so, and it is here also in this slide. So S is for safe and secure, safety and security. A for availability of the data center, continuous availability. F for flexibility or adaptability or scalability to meet your business requirement, technological changes, business changes, whatever comes across. So your data center has to be flexible enough to adapt. E is the efficiency, so how efficient your data center is. And finally, ST is environmental and operational sustainability. So that completes the entire objective. And why I put it on this slide today is to tell you that the elements or parameters or goal setting what you are talking about is you have to set the goal all these parameters from safety and security perspective. What are the parameters you want to improve on? Just for example, I am telling you, when you built the data center earlier, in your critical area, you did not provide a biometric kind of access. It is a proximity kind of access, so which is typically compromising your security inside your data center. So, what you will do? So, it is an improvement that you want to secure the data center and authenticate biometrically whoever is entering inside your data center. So you can use the biometric based technology on the access control. Similarly, if you find people tailgating in the data center, so there are things available, how do we avoid that part? So a simple example I give it to you. Similarly, on a safety and safety front, you have got fire alarm system, fire suppression system, maybe gas suppression system, maybe potable suppression system. What do you want to improve in that? Or this area is covered, that area was not covered. So there is multiple things. Once you do a deep dive into it, then you can be able to find out that these are the gaps which we observe and we should like to plug in and put that as a part of continuous improvement. Similarly, continuously available. Now, when you build the data center, let us say you build tier 3, which is concurrently maintainable. And at one point of time, you want your data center to be fault tolerant. So, or at least the critical load to be fault tolerant. So, how do you? So, it comes under again the continuous improvement plan. Similarly, with the time, there are some equipment which becomes end of life or approaching, or it is that particular thing is not more reliable, then you put that as a part of continuous improvement plan. And how do you enhance the availability in your data center at any point of time? So that comes under availability. Similarly, the flexibility and scalability part of it. How do you enhance? How do you make your data center more flexible? Let us say, for example, I'll say you build a data center with 5 kilowatt IT load power density, and then you find later on that the power density is going up to 8 kilowatt, 10 kilowatt, or even 15 kilowatt. Then how do you manage that change? So obviously, whenever you build the data center, certain level of scalability you build it, and everything you don't build it. So whatever is not there, then you need to consider the reactor item. So what needs to be done to meet your per rack density of 10 kilowatt per rack. Similarly, the efficiency. If you remember the PUE of the data center earlier in early 2000, it used to be around 3, even more than 3. And then people, because earlier the focus was not there on the efficiency side, the focus was more on the criticality, availability side of it. And then once the capacity of the data center goes higher, higher and higher, and then the people realize that no, the data center has to be also efficient. And efficiency is not only from the perspective of infrastructure efficiency, but also from operational efficiency, people efficiency, how the entire efficiency you are able to drive. So efficiency, if I was just giving example from the PUE perspective. So from PUE of more than 3, now if we measure the PUE, average PUE is, as per the research done by Uptime Institute, it is around 1.6. And in India also we are talking about somewhere PUE 1.5. There are people who got even 1.4 PUE with certain implementation. So this is something which goes because technology changes on a time to time basis. So you can use the technology. Even ideas, the processes, innovations happen also on a time to time basis. You can use it to improve the efficiency part of it. So not only PUE, but there are also other aspects where you can drive the efficiency. Similarly, when you talk about sustainability, so it is not about building a best of the best data center. It is also very, very important to operate and manage or maintain the data center in such a way that you are able to sustain the same level of reliability across the lifespan, and also you are able to drive efficiency in your data center. At the same time, you are also able to minimize the impact of data center on environment. So what are the actions? So you can set a objective that this much of power. Let us say my power consumption is 30 megawatt. So how do I reduce the impact? One is obviously driving the efficiency. Another part is using the renewable power. So let us say out of 30 megawatt, how much power I am using renewable. So that is, you are reducing the impact on the environment, right? So such kind of elements or objectives you need to set, and these details, because if you drill down into all these 5 blocks individually, you may find tens of different parameters which you may find very interesting to improve on. You may analyze, do a cost benefit analysis, and try and put it or include it as a part of continuous improvement plan. Or let us say this particular item I am including in this year improvement. Next year I may include something else. So this is how the improvement plan works, and these are the elements which you see on the slide appropriate for the data center. Now moving next is how do you build it? So in this slide I'm trying to explain you how do you start to build up a continuous development program for your data center. And I'm only talking about the processes because elements I already talked about, and these are processes I talked about at block level, and the elements I also talked about on the broader level. The people has to do a deep dive into it, or you may hire certain competent organizations or agency who can help you, like Data Center Group. So coming back to the development process. So first is, as I said, baseline assessment. So very, very important to know where you are currently. So once you do the baseline assessment of your data center, all the elements or building blocks of the data center, I explained about the civil, architectural, electrical, mechanical, safety, security, all the building blocks. And then you need to do an analysis on the baseline assessment. Once you do the analysis, then you may be able to note down the possible improvement areas. So you can note down details 15, 20, 50, 100, whatever number of possible improvement areas which you may be able to drive in your data center. Once you list down all those areas, then you do a benefit analysis. It is not like that, even if this particular improvement areas can be implemented, but does it adding a value to our organization proportionately? For example, I'll tell you why as per Uptime Institute research, PUE is stagnant to around 1.58 to 1.6 for around more than 5-7 years. Why? Because whatever technology which is available, if you want to implement the improvement and try to bring down the PUE, it is not giving the return what against which you are doing the investment. So investment and return has to be balanced, and return has to be more against the investment. That only attracts any business to implement certain improvement action items. So this benefit analysis will tell you out of this 50 or 100 improvement areas which you noted down. Once you do the analysis, you find that these are the areas which is more suitable as of now. Or also you can prioritize. There can be also scenarios that it is giving all those 50 improvement areas are actually providing benefit to you. But which is more important? So you may implement all 50 together, or you want to go on a bits and year on year basis. So you can plan accordingly. You can also prioritize that these action items are more important for us to implement and include that as a part of your improvement. And the next step is set the measurable target. So out of that 100 line items or 50 items, you set the target for this year or 3 months or 6 months or whatever time period, the cycle for which you re-evaluate or do the baseline assessment. Okay. So once you set the target, how do you achieve the target? You have to prepare plan, action plan or project plan, execution plan. So once your plan is ready, then you need to execute it, implement it. Once the entire thing is implemented, then you need to re-evaluate or measure it. So are you getting the set target whenever you are measuring? If you are getting the set target, well done, great job done. And that's done, then you wait for the next review to happen. And if there is a gap between the set target and the measured parameters, then there must be some kind of gap during the execution which you got. You need to plug in, and then the cycle begins again. So this cycle begins in two ways. One, if there is a gap between the measured target and set target, then you need to continue the cycle to make it measured and the set target the same. And second, if you achieve the set target and the measured target is the same, then whatever frequency which you have decided to review as a part of continuous improvement plan, then again you review all those parameters, do the baseline assessment after completion of that time duration, and check again that what are the areas where improvement is required. Because with the time, as I said, maybe that you achieved 1.6 PUE today, and let us say 2 years down the line there are technologies or equipments which is available which is more efficient. Because I remember very well, earlier UPS efficiency used to be around 82-83%. Now we are seeing UPS is up to 98-96%, power factor of even 99 or even 100. So with the technology, there are different set of equipment or efficient equipments are coming, or different set of equipments are coming which can improve on your specific parameters. Similarly, you can drive improvement in your processes, the way you work, the way you run, the way you sign with your partner. So there are a hell lot of, it is a complete big world around you to see what we can improve. And once you do a deep dive like baseline assessment, then only you will see, where are the areas or opportunities where you can be able to improve. So with this, we come to this end of this session, and on the demand of a lot of my industry colleagues has asked me that your session has been very, very interesting and very knowledgeable. And so, why not you have a session on what are the statutory approvals or requirement for data center across the life cycle? So, if somebody is building new data center, what are the statutory requirements he has to be taken care of? And then, along with it, across the life cycle, what are the other statutory requirements or approval he has to have or compliant he has to have across, so that they have a much better clarity and visibility from that perspective. So, wait for my next session, which is on data center statutory approvals. Um, Keep on encouraging me, keep on giving your feedbacks, comment in the comment section, and even advise, or you may also ask if there are some topics which you feel more important to be covered. Because with this session I have completed the basic knowledge session for the data center, which started with your assessment, design, build, operate, and finally this improve phase. With this, the complete life cycle I have been able to complete, and I have already completed the data center building block separately in my previous session. So, with this session, what I found is the basic of the data center I have completed, and the next sessions would be more about the people interest or advice if somebody wants to have this specific session. And secondly, I will also be doing a couple of research around different topics on data center, and I will come out with those interesting topics uh, in through these sessions. So thank you very much. Happy learning. Take care.